All right. So, sorry I was muted all that time, folks. But so tonight isn't going to be about the stocks or the trading or investing, and I'm taking more of a business route with it. And actually, it's not even going to be about business just yet. It's more going to be about where you are with things, how you feel, and you know, how you feel about working, how you feel about where you're at in life. What do you plan on doing? What do you want to do? What are you doing? What have you done? So I feel the best place to start is always with a story, and best stories always start with the why. And the why can start at the beginning, it can start at the end. It doesn't matter where it starts, but I think the why is the best place to start.
So I want to tell y'all my why. My why is here's where I'm at with it. All right. So a couple years ago, I'd say about 10 years ago, I kind of got my first foray into insurance where I was working with a benefits company. I don't even want to say their name because they're competition now. And I ain't giving nobody no limelight. But I started out with the company doing group benefits. And it was just, the feeling was just like, wow. I mean, like, I'm working for myself. I got into a situation pretty much. I ended up being a single parent for a while. And I had to go back to clocking in because my daughter can't eat hopes and dreams. So I ended up going back to work. I got a pretty decent job. I was working at Hertz, renting cars, doing that. And I made pretty decent money there. Now, the thing was, I don't know if people have seen this lately, but Hertz, not only Hertz, but a lot of rental car companies are hurting right now. And on top of that, Hertz actually just recently, I think as of last week, just declared bankruptcy. Something I feel like I saw coming a mile away, which is a lot of the reason I got out of there because it was like, yeah, I'm making good money, but this company ain't that great. And if it goes underground, the next place I'm looking for at a job for ain't gonna really care how much money I made here because I can show up saying, well, I feel like like I deserve this amount of money, but at the end of the day, they don't care because they look at it more like, what skills are you bringing to the table? And I was realized at the time that the only real skill I had was retail sales. And I was a good salesman, but one thing you'll learn, and one thing I want to teach everybody during the course of my live videos with this is that it's being a good salesman, it's great and all, but selling is the easiest part of it all, really, because it's not hard to sell. It's not hard to sell things. It's like that's pretty easy. That the sale is the easy part because the hard part is the figuring out who your audience is after you got your product, figuring out where your audience is, figuring out how you get to that audience, getting them to listen to you. If you get them to listen to you, then you got to get them to make a commitment of time, a time commitment before they even make a financial commitment. They got to make a time commitment to actually want to listen to what you got to say. Once they make that time commitment, now you got to go through the presentation. Part of your presentation should be you know, asking them questions and finding out about them, not trying to sell them, figuring out about them, finding out about them. Once you do all that, then that's when you make your offer. It's a lot of steps in between initial contact and the final sale. The final sale is the easiest part because once you made it this far, most likely they didn't committed enough time to you that they're most likely going to do business with you. If they don't do business with you, you at least built a pretty good relationship with somebody at this point. So I kind of digressed a little bit, But the whole idea was just that I realized I didn't really have any skills. All I did was I knew how to sell. I knew how to just sell once somebody got a customer in front of me. So that's when I decided to take a chance, go ahead and work for myself again. And this time I didn't have any income. I had a little bit of money saved from when I was working at that job at Hertz, and then pretty much I started out 100% commission, and my first year was pretty hard. I mean, my money was tight. I made enough money. I made enough money to pay bills and put gas in my car so I can go and try to sell some more insurance. So that's kind of like the mindset that I'm trying to feel out with folks right now. I'm trying to see, where folks' minds at with it. If you're thinking about something like that, if you're thinking about working for yourself, if you did work for yourself, but it didn't work out, you stopped. Why did you do that? If you didn't decide to go back and do it, why didn't you go back and do it? You know, like where are you at as far as what you're doing? Are you thinking about working for yourself, but you don't know how to start? You're thinking about working for yourself and you know how to start, but you feel like you don't have the capital or you need to actually still be making some kind of money. So that's keeping you from starting. There's so many different reasons and avenues and all the kind of different things on why people do and don't end up working for themselves. And I just want people to understand, it ain't gonna be easy. Of course it ain't gonna be easy. And that's the whole gist of it. That's why I want to start talking to folks about this. It's not going to be easy because I've said this before. People have probably heard me say it, but it's a cool phrase when you say you got to pay the cost to be the boss, but you also got to take a loss or 85 to be the boss. You got to take a loss too. And people don't see the L's. They don't see the L's you take. They only pay attention to the wins. And looking from the outside in, it's like, oh man, this dude ain't got nothing to worry about. Everything's good for you. And I'm not saying like I'm super winning. I mean, I'm making it and I'm taking care of business and still trying to build on my business. Not trying, I'm still building on my business. But people don't see that part. They just think that, money falls in your lap and you don't have the same problems that they have. It's just that we got different problems. That's what it really is. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm any better. It's not that you're any worse. It's not that you're any better or I'm any worse. It's just we got different problems. So, I know some people that got into business and who started out great. I mean, like they started out great from right out the gates, just came out winning. Other people that started business and it took them a while, but they stuck with it. That's another thing. A lot of people, you got to learn to stick with it. You got to learn to roll with the punches. You got to learn to pretty much, I call it punching no in the face until it says yes, or moving no out of the way until you find a yes. That's the whole thing. It's like you gotta find your yes. But at first, it starts with finding your reason. You got to find your reason to do what you want to do for yourself. Like, say, what's going on with all this COVID stuff right now. If I was still at Hertz, I would probably be hurting right now if I wasn't able to get unemployment. If I was still working there, I'd be hurting right now. Now, I'm not saying like I'm things are easy for me because I'm working in insurance now. But what I am saying is that as a result of what I do now is still more essential than when I was working in the airport. So that's the thing. It's like you got to figure out ways to be creative, how to make money, especially with what I do. I sell insurance. Nobody cares about insurance. Nobody cares about insurance until they need it. That's literally on my LinkedIn page, actually, that I have on my LinkedIn page. It's I get people to care about insurance, capital letters, before they need it. because a lot of people do not think about that until they need it. I don't know how many times I had somebody, friends, people I've quoted, neighbors, talked to them before. They didn't give one piece. They didn't care at all. They did not care. Now something happened, and they're like, "So yeah, you think you can help me out?" And I'm like, "Bro, this is back when I was doing home and auto insurance. Like, man, you should have hit me up before the accident. Now I'm doing life and health insurance. It's like, man, you should have hit me up before the diagnosis. Back when I was trying to get you to care about it before capital letters. You needed it. That's the thing. It's all about rolling with the punches, man. You gotta learn how to roll with the punches. You gotta learn how to take because you're gonna take about 100 losses to get that one win. But that one win beats those 100 losses. That's how you gotta look at it, man. You gotta look at it like that. Because here's how my day goes. You know, I was out yesterday. I was calling and doing a million calls, just calling. Yeah, it's Tony Cannon. Do health insurance. Oh no, okay. Well, feel free to reach out to me in the future if. Okay, they hung up. All right. Yeah, it's Tony Cannon. I'm just All right. Yeah, it's Tony Cannon. I'm just reaching out, seeing if I can help folks out and save some money on health insurance for you. No? Okay, yeah, you'll take my info. All right, thanks, appreciate it. Finally got one. Right when I'm thinking, like, man, this is going nowhere. I'm thinking to myself, I should be doing something else right now. I'm about to go market, or I'm about to go pass out my flyers, or I'm about to go. I do DoorDash too. I do DoorDash and staple my flyers to people's food and drop it off. And that way I'm like making a couple dollars and I'm doing some marketing at the same time instead of doing free marketing. So it's just like I'm about to turn on this DoorDash app, see if I can make some money real quick. Finally. And right when I'm thinking, man, I'm about to give up. Oh yeah, I am looking for health insurance. I got a coworker here that's looking for it too. It's like, boom. That's what I was trying to get right there. That's what I was looking for. That right there. So that's the point that I'm getting at, man. It's just if you got to take a chance on yourself. You got to take a chance on yourself, man. And if you do decide that you want to take a chance on yourself, I want to be here for you. I want to be here in a capacity of, hey, I started out here and just let you know, like, here's some things that you can do. Here's some things that you probably shouldn't do. Here's some things that you can think about. You know what I mean? Just like you never know because everybody's situation is individual. So pretty much tonight, I just want to go. I'm just pretty much giving everybody a. I guess this is me giving you the syllabus right now. So, but going forward, things I want to start doing with folks is I just want to go through the whole entire process of doing for yourself. Let's say you already do have a business or something like that, or you got a product that you actually have and you're just wanting to know how to get it out there to folks. I want to start with showing you how to find people, giving you ways of finding people. Uh, After that, helping you out with relationship building. Because relationship building is one of the main key pieces. I don't care how good you are at sales. I don't care how good you are at sales. That don't mean anything if you can't get in front of people. That means nothing if you can't get in front of people. You can be the greatest salesman in the world, but one of the worst relationship builders ever. Nobody's gonna really want to talk to you. Because they say you don't. This is the guy you don't want to be when you show up, and it's like, yeah, everybody's like just chilling, just having a good time, talking to each other. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. And then you know what he said next? He said Linkheimer. Yeah, I know that was funny. And then you walking up, and it's like, oh, here he comes. He getting ready to try and sell us something, man. Yeah, and then he walks up, and then it's just like sooner or later he turns the conversation to what he does or how he can sell you something or why you should do business with him, or you know what I mean. It's like cool and all, but and it's cool to have that energy about yourself with it, but it's like you got to understand Most people don't want to be sold. Even people that hit you up and they're asking for your product, they're asking for what it is that you do. They're asking. Most people don't want to be sold. People love to be part of a deal, though. They love to be part of a deal because I'm one of them. I walk in the store, I have intentions. Like, only thing I'm there for is some bread. And then I see something that's a great sale, and I'm just like, ooh, that's a deal. I'm about to hop on that just because it's there. And I'm just like, I ain't never going to see that deal again. I might as well get on that right now. So, you know what I mean? Like, people love to be part of a deal, but most people do not want to be sold. And I'll give you an example. A guy hit me up out of nowhere one day, and I'm more trying to network with this guy. He's trying to sell me. So we get on the phone, and I'm getting ready to get into my networking mode. He's in presentation mode, and he's like, "So yeah, man, I do this, I do that, and then how you about you? Like, are you are you interested in investing?" And I was like, "What are you even talking about? Investing in what, bro? You skipped like 8 steps. You skipped the relationship building part. You skipped all kinds of steps and went straight to just asking me to invest. You're asking me, you're selling me now already. Like, you didn't even build any need. You didn't assess the need. You didn't build any excitement. You didn't make me feel anything that I'm missing out on anything. That's why people like to be part of a deal, because they might feel like they're missing out on something that they can't get later on. And that's what I'm saying on when I say people like to be part of a deal, because that's how I be feeling when I see something decent, something that's real cheap in the store. I see something cheap in the store. I'm like, ooh, I probably won't ever come across this again. I'm about to copy it right now while it's available. So people love to be part of a deal, but most people don't like to be sold. And you just got to think about it, man. You got to be more relationship building minded, because most business meetings, you don't even talk about business maybe for the first 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes you don't even talk about business yet for the first meeting. You don't even talk about business to the next meeting. This meeting is a meeting to have a meeting to set up a meeting sometimes. You know what I mean? So I just, that's where I want to start at with it with folks. It's the actual finding people. That's where we're going to start at on the next video. Actually, like, helping you. You know what? Actually, that's kind of skipping a step. It's not going to be with finding people. It's going to be with first discovering who your audience is, finding out who your audience is, finding where your audience is at, because you got to meet your audience where they're at. It's like the same thing. Like, say, I know y'all seen people before walking around with the bag of stuff nobody wants, and they're with ABC company that does this and that, and they got all these trinkets and knickknacks. And where do they go? They go to laundromats. They're at places that have ATMs. They go in the bars sometimes. You know what I mean? They're at grocery stores. Because why? People are there buying things. People are there shopping. People are there spending money. So you want to go where your people are at. You want to go where they're at. You want to go where the money is. Not even necessarily where the money is. You want to go where the people are that are spending money as well too. You want to find them. You know, that's the one thing. That's the one thing you got to do. Go where your audience is at. That's something I recently learned too, and that was after like a couple years of me doing what I do now. Took me a couple years to learn that, because I just was, man, I used to be all over the place. I wish I had somebody telling me these things years ago when I first started. Man, I used to be all over the place. I hate cold calling. So I used to be, I would be, I pretty much like say I would have people I need to follow up on, but instead of following up on those people, I'd say to myself, you know what, man, I'm about to go out and market some more. So I go out and just keep marketing, keep getting more numbers, because I was always looking for that one and done. I wasn't really building relationships with folks. I wasn't building relationships with folks until I sold to them. Then I was building relationships with them. Now, the first thing I'm thinking is, yo, I want to build a relationship with you. I want to know who you are. I want to fill you out, and then sooner or later, I might work into, I might slide in what I into the conversation what I actually do, just to let you know. But at this point, at least I built a relationship with you. At least I might stay top of mind for you once you do actually think to yourself, you know what, I do need such and such. And I talked to this guy a couple of weeks ago, a couple months ago, a couple of days ago, a year ago, and I got his card somewhere. Oh, I did save his number. So let me hit him up, because you built that relationship. That's the key, is to stay top of mind. It's not just to be a great salesman. Because I've seen people that aren't good salesmen that are super winning. They're not that great a salesman, but they got the drive, they stick with it, and they built relationships with folks. You know what I mean? I've had people sell things to me that weren't great as salesmen, but they had the drive, they stuck with it, they were genuine. And then when I was decided to go with them, when I decided I needed that product or whatever they had, I was like, oh yeah, so and so. Let me hit him up. So you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing you got to do. You got to stay top of mind, and you got to be genuine. It's just like, you don't want to be that guy that just over promises people. Like, the first thing you do is you promise, you promise, you promise. Oh, I'll do this. I'll be there for you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Oh, you can count on me. I'm doing this. And it's kind of like, it's like when you meet somebody for the first time that you're dating, and they're just telling you, only things they're telling you is how great they are. And in the back of your head, you're just like, all right, where's the part where you turn into a psycho? Or where's the part where you start showing me who you really are? You know, and then that's where it ends up at. And they finally show you how they're an untrustworthy business partner or a business person, or you'll finally find out at some point, like where they're not that great. So, you know what I mean? You gonna interrupt me? You don't want to interrupt me? But yeah, but see, I was getting ready to end this pretty soon anyway, because I'm glad. I actually can't believe he stayed out there that long with us now, for real. But yeah, folks. So I don't know exactly what day is the next day I'll be on here, but I'm going to be on here at least once or twice a week. So please feel free to tune in. If you are looking to work for yourself, or you're already working for yourself, and you just want somebody else to talk to that works for themselves, please hop on so we can all talk about it. You know what I mean? Because you can give me some business tips too. You know what I mean? You always want to be a student, no matter who you are. You can have a PhD, you still want to be a student. You can be the dean of the college, you still want to be a student. So yeah, see you guys next time. Y'all be easy.